In 1990, the rock band Poison released their third album, Flesh and Blood. What that album did for me was twofold. Number one, laugh at me if you want to, it solidified my love for Poison. The second thing it did was it put me on a quest for about a 27-year quest for one single guitar. That quest began with the release of the video Ride the Wind, when I saw CC DeVille play a jewel blue Ibanez RG570. And then I saw their performance on the American Music Awards, which I'll link below. And that solidified it for me. I wanted that guitar. It sounded amazing. I had played for a couple of years. I had a Yamaha RG110. I sucked. But I wanted that guitar because of the way it sounded and the way it looked. I was in love. I was also poor because I was in high school. My brother was also poor and younger and in high school, but he was smarter than I was. And he saved up his money and he got a catalog. And I got a catalog. This catalog, the 1990 Guitars and Basses, Ibanez Guitars and Basses catalog. Back then, the internet didn't exist, but he saved up his $650 and he ordered it on absolute blind faith. And no reviews, no video reviews, didn't play it in the store, didn't nothing. He saw CC play it on a couple of videos on TV, and he bought it on blind faith. And he waited for months on end, hoping that his investment, that he mailed a check in to freaking, I don't even know. We come home from school every day. Mom, is it here? No. Mom, is it here? No. One day we got home, I walked in the door and Mom said, "Hey Lance, something came today. It's a big box." And I don't think we saw him for a week because because his guitar came. And it came in this beautiful hard shell case. And the guitar was just gorgeous. And it had a wizard neck and it played like you wouldn't believe. And I was one jealous dude. I loved the guitar before. Once I played it, I had to have it. But I invested in other things. And then I went to college. And then I get married. And then I had kids. And I bought other guitars. Not the ones that you see behind me. Those came later. Then I quit playing. And then I bought a house. And then other things happened. And then I bought another house. And then, life happens. So life goes on, which is a Poison song. And I found out last spring that I got a phone call from my brother. He says, "Hey, I'm moving to Arizona." I'm like, well, heck. He says, "You want to buy a guitar from me?" I said, "Sure, I'll buy your Ibanez." He says, "No, I'm not selling you my Ibanez, but I'll sell you my black Bret Michaels Explorer." He had two. He had a white one and a black one. I said, okay. So I went and played them. And since I already had a white guitar, I bought his black Bret Michaels Explorer. That plays like a dream. I love that guitar. It's way too heavy. But it plays awesome. Sounds great. I love playing it. It's just really, really, really heavy. last time I played his Ibanez was when I bought that guitar sometime in May or June of 2019. So on February 8th of 2020, just a couple, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, he and his wife moved to Arizona. And it's a big question of whether or not I will ever see that Ibanez RG570 again. And I'll tell you, I was a little bit depressed about that. So I got to looking 4 days after he moved. I was looking on Facebook Marketplace, and this dude was trading one for sale or trade, and he wanted a bass. And I had a bass. I had an Ibanez bass that I had picked up at a local pawn shop for 75 bucks. And I also had a Fender Stratocaster that I had bought used that hung right there that I hated. So I got a hold of the guy. I figured, what do I have to lose? So he and I talked for a while, and he sent me pictures and pictures and pictures, and it had issues. It was a little beat up. But I offered him the flat trade for those 2 guitars for this one, and looky what I got. I am one happy guy. This is the Ibanez RG570 in jewel blue. Exactly what I wanted. Now, it does have issues, and it is not 100% stock. But I don't care. So, let me take a drink here, and we'll talk. So the first difference we have here is this is not a stock pickup. The pickup that it was supposed to come with was, the 93 bridge pickup was supposed to come with a Ibanez V2 pickup, which looks similar to this one. It's a humbucker, but it's a V2 pickup. This is a DiMarzio some sort of or another. So he upgraded that. Take it or leave it. He said he thinks he still has this, the V2. If he does, he will get a hold of me and get it to me, and I will switch that out for that one because I want it as stock as possible. If I can find a V2, I'll pick it up and replace it. Because I want it as close to original as possible. What else? He had 2 brass colored or gold colored tuner knobs on here. I replaced those twice actually. I had some black knobs with blue highlights on the top that didn't look right. It wasn't the right shade of blue. So I ordered some Ernie Ball knobs that are closer. They're actually almost exactly what came on here stock. And then the texture on the side here is what I like too. The knobs that I put on here before are smoother, whereas this is more textured, so that when you just reach down here and turn it with one finger, your finger grips it more firmly and turns it right. I also had to replace the bushings on the tremolo bar, and right now I am printing 18 more grommets on a 3D printer at my local library. I found the computer file to do that, but we are having trouble getting the 3D printer to print it correctly because the pieces are so small that it wants to, the pieces want to pick up as the print head moves over them, that the plastic just wants to pick up off of the print surface. So we are struggling with that, but it's getting done, and that's much cheaper. I'll get 18 of those for $1 as opposed to buying 2 of those at a time for about $9 a piece, or $9 for a set of 2. There also were some other issues. Whoever had this originally, the guy who I bought it from somebody who had used a seatbelt for a shoulder strap, and they had used these great big bolts to screw it in on both sides, and what that did was cause this great big hole on the horn. So he had filled it in a little bit with wood filler. I filled it up the rest of the way, and then bought some nail polish, and I found a really close match, and then used some clear coat on top of that. First time I've ever bought nail polish, by the way. And this is the wood glue that I used. Filled that in, filled in the bottom one down here, and then patched that up. He had originally put the shoulder strap button in here, so I filled that in and covered that up with nail polish as well. I did the same thing down here, and then there were a couple of spots here and on the body down here. Just had a couple of dings and nicks. What else did I do? I had to clean it up really good. It was really dirty and nasty. I used some neck cleaner on it, and then let's see, put some Diodario, sorry, or Didario. I always pronounce it wrong. I put some Didario nickel-plated steel XT strings on it, the yellow ones, which go from 9 to 46. This is the hybrid set, which takes the 3 strings from a 9 and the 3 low strings from a set of 10s and combines those. It's the first time I've ever used those. I'm still evaluating those. I'm not sure how much I like those, so I might go back to the 9s. We'll see. What else? I bought one of these thingies. I had never had one of these before, but this was pretty handy. Oh, the other thing I had to do was replace the input jack. The input jack was shot, so I replaced that.